What is going on, everybody? We are back for another episode of the ABJ Podcast with Martin Hughes. What's going on? ABJ here. We are back once again, season 3, chugging along, doing some cool stuff. Just wanted, before we get into there, I want to do my internet can shaking. I know I hate this aspect, but we got to plug it and talk about it. But before we get into it, if you're first time here, welcome to the ABJ Podcast. Hit that like, share, subscribe, tell people about this. 5-star reviews if you're listening to this on the audio source. Spotify does have a thing where you can leave comments below, so any feedback is also very much appreciated. Not just for myself, but for my guest. If you're listening along, please comment below. And if I don't get answering to it, maybe my guest will, or we can keep that open line of conversation going. Also, check the links below to support myself with merchandise, follow on social media, anything that may help the podcast go, help pay a couple bills. And also my guests, whether it's their social media, whether it's their merch pages, whether it's whatever company they're at, you can message them and say, I want to see more of this wrestler, because you as the audience have more power than you think when it comes to that. Or if you're someone where you watch a lot of independent wrestling and you'd like to see this person booked, tell your local promotion, hey, I listen to this guy on this podcast. I think he's good. I want to see him wrestle. Let's get to our sponsors. Rooted Entertainment, above my head. If you want to be a champion, but you're not a tough guy like my guests and my other former guests, and get in between the ropes and get your butt kicked, you can get Rooted to make you a belt, and you can carry it around and feel just as strong. If you can dream it, he can make it. As your TWF Intercontinental YouTube Championship, Rooted Entertainment makes the best belts, whether it comes to the zinc, whether it comes to the little brass belts up there, which are a lot lighter and easier for kids to carry. He has it all. Custom belts. You can get belts that are actually just ones that you've seen on TV. He can replicate those as well. Rooted Entertainment is the one-stop shop for all your custom belt needs. High Tension Wrestling Network. We're doubling it up today. Got the t-shirt on as well. Great independent wrestling company out of the Philadelphia area, putting on some amazing shows in a collaboration with a lot of other good promotions, giving talent an opportunity to be seen. Check out their YouTube page and check out all their content. Also, thank you so much for them for dual streaming this and putting this on their platform as well, so these interviews get more eyes on them. I think that's pretty much all I got when it comes to that aspect. Also, if you're here, the goal is 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you are the first time here, just hit a button. Doesn't cost you anything. Helps out a lot. And keep coming back. Check out more interviews or check out past interviews. Also, think about joining a membership. I know we have that $5 tier. That's my goals. I want to try to hit 100 of those members by the end of the year. I think we're up to like 19 or 20. But they help grow the channel. They help pay some bills. They help do a lot. We're always doing membership giveaways. That's where most of the members are at right now, is from the free ones that I gave away for a month. But it helps grow the channel. It's like buying me a beer every month. It costs you very, very little, but it helps more than you know if more people subscribe to that. It's pretty much all I got. Without further ado, let's bring in my guest today. I know the last couple months has been very heavy with this school, and there's a reason for it. I think a lot of these people who come out of the school are good people, very hard workers. Another one that I met closer to that WrestleMania time, he came in unbooked at a show, and I talked to him and a few other people, and I fell in love with them. I thought, man, great attitudes, great minds for the business, young at heart, but have a lot of growth behind them. And that's one of those people that I'm bringing in today for a full interview. So you've seen them on 5 Questions. Now you're going to see them on the ABJ Podcast. Martin Hughes, what's going on, bud?
Hey, how you doing, ABJ?
I'm doing great, man. I'm very excited to chat with you and have people hear your story.
Yes, sir. I'm very happy to be here, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Always. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell people who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm Martin Hughes, the Hughes that can't lose, and I wrestle.
Out of where?
Oh, I wrestle out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Not just for the bill. This is for real.
Yeah. Philly's a tough city, man. I purposely didn't wear my hat today to not offend you, but I'll say we're both in the playoffs. We're both in the same division.
Oh man.
Yeah. I hope we meet again in the NFC Championship. That would be kind of sick. But yeah.
Yeah, maybe the Eagles can get their lick back.
Yeah. Or Washington just, shows. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Between Washington and Philly, with their young team, young quarterbacks, and the way those teams are going, I think we're gonna be. I honestly think we could be like the New England Patriots and the Colts again. Like we're always just gonna see each other in playoffs. It's gonna be something like I guarantee you'll be seeing our team playing more than twice a year because of the ability that these teams are going and the way the teams are growing. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna heighten that rivalry, I think.
Oh. big time.
Yeah. I'm not a Philly, obviously not a Philly fan, but I respect that city and their sports teams. There's only one team I really hate, and that's Dallas. Like, if you're a Dallas fan, burn,
Dallas,
you know what I mean?
kick rocks if you're a Dallas fan.
Same with Giants. Giants fans are annoying just because they only like their team when they're good. The only time you hear Giants fans is when they're good. When they're not good, they stay quiet and they go back to their holes.
Yeah, but I respect Eli Manning. He was a generational talent. I respect him. I'll give respect where it's due. That
Listen, there's players on teams I like, but as an organization and most of their fan base, I think I stay away from them.
Yeah, they're pretty trash.
This is being recorded in January, so I think the big news right now is the guy in Philly who was kind of making fun of that Green Bay girl and saying really horrible things. And as a whole, the Philadelphia community is like, no, we're not about that. Like, so maybe there's going to be a change where fans from other teams won't get beers dumped on them or stuff thrown at them, and they can still come and enjoy a game. Like, I like the heckling, right? If you're walking through, they're going to yell at you and curse at you and be Philly fans. But as long as no one's touching each other, I think that's what we need to get to that point. And like, if there's kids around or women, tone it down a hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I will say this, like, a lot of those fans who are going the extra mile aren't even from Philadelphia. Those are the New Jersey folks who claim to be from Philly.
Yeah, most Philly fans I meet, they bust your balls, they harass you, and it at the end of the day they laugh and call it a day. I was at a full Eagles bar one time, the only one wearing my Washington stuff. I was there for 3 seasons in a row and watched Washington get smoked every time. And then the one year we beat you twice with Kirk Cousins. And this guy turned around and he tried to pick a fight with me. And before he even threw a punch, 3 other dudes from the bar in Eagles jerseys were like, yo, he's here every week, doesn't cause problems. You're the problem. Get the hell out. Yeah, I was like, go Birds.
Philly. Those guys are real Philadelphia.
Yeah, they're like, he's not here causing problems. He's like, every single time that our team beat their team, we harassed him, we picked on him, we bullied him, and he took it with stride and he laughed. You're not going to come in here and swing on him. He's one of us. Get out of here. And they kicked him out of the bar. It was awesome. I was like, go Birds. Yeah. Oh man. So let's go back in the interview here. We took a little side tangent. There's gonna be a lot of those. ADHD is a thing.
Here.
Let's talk about pro wrestling. When did you fall in love with the industry of professional wrestling?
Oh man. So, everyone was watching, the Attitude Era.
This is where I date my guests to find out your actual age about what you said your favorite moment is.
I fell in love with professional wrestling during the Ruthless Aggression era, after John Cena smacked Kurt Angle. But really what got me falling in love was when I used to go to CZW shows at the arena from like the end of 06 to like, I believe like near 2011. I remember just, the atmosphere, it was just such a different vibe than what you'd see on TV. So that was really how I fell in love with wrestling, just going to the arena, the new Alhambra. Well, now it's called the 2300 Arena.
Mm-hmm.
Just smelling the icy hot in the air, just hearing the air horns, which is like, that's so non-existent now. Seeing streamers go in the ring. I wish people still did that kind of stuff, but that's what really made me kind of fall in love with it.
Yeah. That's awesome that you're kind of like, oh, you watch the TV stuff, but then you still went and had that local show experience, which is, man, you can't, especially if you go to the bigger ones, they're undescribable. Like they're unbelievable. Like going to a WB and AEW and all those big shows are one thing, but like those big independent shows, like the old ROHs and the CZWs and the GCWs, like that, there's nothing like that. That's a whole nother different type of energy.
Yeah, that was definitely, I want to say peak independent in a sense.
Yeah. That's like a good college game minus going to a pro game. Like pro games are fun, but that college game, the heart and soul's there.
Yeah, the heart and soul. Like you're questioning these characters. Like, oh my, like I was genuinely scared. Like I see people like Nick Gage, RIP to brain damage. I see people like him, just real characters who immersed you, pulled you from your seat. That's what made me fall in love with it.
Yeah. So what type of kid were you growing up? Were you a sports guy, a theater guy? Where did you fall into this line? And it's relatable to why we're going here later. Yeah.
So I grew up I'm a skateboarder, right? I skated since I was 9. Um, I grew up like an episode of Viva La Bam, man. I was just always skateboarding down City Hall. I was always skateboarding at FDR. Like I'm talking skating all day, come home, rub dirt off my skin, you know what I mean? Uh, yeah, that's what I was into, man.
You were
Just
learning how to bump before wrestling because you got to
literally,
learn how to fall as a skateboarder. Like you're gonna fall a lot, and you have to learn how to brace yourself and fall properly so you don't hurt yourself.
yeah, man. It was, I don't have tattoos, but I have scars, So
Yeah,
I kind of grew up just kind of that hesh thrash.
a little bit of an adrenaline junkie, not afraid of some pain, not afraid to take some risks and some chances.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely not, man. Yeah, the pain was like a friend.
Yeah. Now, did you play sports at all, or were you just pretty much in the skating life?
I didn't play sports until high school. Yeah, I didn't play sports until high school.
Okay. What did you play?
I played football. I was a defensive end and a slot receiver, and I amateur wrestled, folk style wrestled, Greco. Well,
Awesome. Now, did you join any of these so growing up as a wrestler, as like a lifelong wrestling fan and stuff, did it always carry through with you the whole time, or was there times where you just stopped watching and came back in?
so it was times where honestly I was really more into the indies than like WWE.
Yeah.
Uh, like when Jeff Hardy was WWE champion, like I was not watching it too much. I was more like into like deathmatch, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Um, really into deathmatch, like Thumbtack Jack, uh, like Wife Beater, RIP to the GOAT, Danny Havoc, Sammy Callahan, all those guys, John Moxley when he was a part of the Switchblade conspiracy. Um, that kind of stuff carried with me. Um, and that's what really kind of at the time stuck with me. And I always thought about it when I was going to play these sports, like the intensity I would witness as a kid. If I got hit in football, I'd be like, well, I'm good. That was nothing. Or if I got, if I was in a wrestling match, maybe someone got me good, double leg, bam, I'm dumped on my neck. Like it didn't really phase me to kind of get knocked down or hit hard.
Yeah. Now that I hear you're a huge deathmatch fan, is that something you ever want to pursue in your career? Is that a match style that's on your bucket list?
Man, you know, uh, eh,
I don't know if I could watch it. I'm gonna be honest. If you were in a death match, I would probably skip that one. I have a hard time enough watching them, but then
uh,
seeing it, it's one of those things where like growing up, hardcore matches and chair shots and table spots were always like okay, like, and then you learn the magic behind it. You're like, oh, okay, there's some stuff to it. And then that death match stuff, I watch it, and it's like if I know the person, it takes it to another level for me. I'm like, I don't know if I like it. Like I did a commentary for a death match show, and most of the people on the roster I didn't know who they were, but there was one match where somebody I knew was in it, and the entire time I was like, I don't know if I talked on commentary because I was just like,
ooh,
yeah,
yeah, I feel that. If I'm involved in a story, and if the conclusion can make sense with okay, it's going here, I'll do it if the story concludes to it and it makes sense, and if the moment's right. But overall, like it's a totally different style from what I do.
yeah. I do. A part of me wants a light tube busted over my head just to say I did it, but then a part of me is like, I'll get the one person who messes it up and gigs me. Oh man. So when did you start to pursue your industry, and how did you find it?
So it found me. Going to CZW, I used to watch Drew Gulak. He was the Wired CZW champion, CZW heavyweight champion. Just watching him, really, he was one of my standouts, right? Because I used to watch wrestling as like I'd be like the kid in the crowd, like, oh, that was really clean, and oh, that made really a lot of sense, and oh, he got a lot of like I kind of before I was in the industry, I knew the terms.
You're a smart mark,
Smart
essentially.
mark, yeah,
Yeah,
shouts
yeah.
out, awesome. Yeah, like I was like a smart mark, and I was always critiquing like, oh, that looked clean, this, that, and the third. I was at work one day. I used to work at a casino, and I was on the roof of it, and I remember uh, seeing like an ad pop up on my phone, and I remember it was like wrestling school, catch point, and then I hopped on this website and it said ran by Drew Gulak. That immediately grabbed my interest because I used to pay money to see this guy wrestle.
Yeah.
And at the time, there weren't a lot of there were 0 wrestling schools in Philadelphia, like in the city, right?
Yeah.
And previously, like not a lot of people know this, but previously I did a tryout at the Wrestle Factory and I did a tryout at H2O. Shouts out to them, they're awesome. Both schools are awesome, but
Matt Tremont's just a gem of a human.
What a legend, man, for real.
Yeah.
And there were no schools in Philadelphia. I went to those schools. I was like, yeah, these schools embody where they're at, but there were no Philadelphia schools. And that was back in 2017. 2017. And I remember 2023 comes around. I'm sitting on the roof of my job. I'm like, I'm over life at this point. And, I have this amount of money in my savings and I come across this ad. So I fill out the email thing or whatever. And I remember just going, you know what? Forget it. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna do it. Why not? I thought it was fake at first. I thought it was like a scam. Because it had, big names like Drew Gulak, Willie Uda, Tracy Williams. Like I seen those names, I was like, stop it.
That's like the Holy Trinity. That's too good to be true. Yeah. And as a Philly boy, you're like, there's nothing more Philly than this.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, if this is a thing. So I just kind of in a sense like blindly just like, all right, take my money, let me know when we start this, that, and the third. And that's it kind of found me in a moment that I needed it. Kind of in my life, kind of in a sense like saved my life.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite things so far in this conversation and talking with you just off camera and other places is like my whole bit, right? Like the background of this podcast. I didn't take this photo, but this looks like it was taken off my parents' roof of their house. Like this is my tiny little coal hole shit town with the color intensity turned up so it looks beautiful. Like my podcast logos, now there's a maroon aspect to it, but it's black and gold. That's my hometown, my little town school colors. Like I'm very I'm a 570 guy. Like I know that name and that term is thrown around a lot of people showing pride in it, but like I live the 570. Like I embody what it means to be a Schuylkill County person or 570 and where I'm from, and hearing your love and passion of the Philadelphia scene and being like, no, I'm a Philly guy. Like I love this city. I breathe this city. I want this city. If I'm going to immerse you're wearing another Philly wrestler on your t-shirt for crying out loud. Like, you know what I mean? Like you, if it's made in Philly, you're about it. And I love that. I love that sense of hometown pride and community.
Oh yeah, I feel like because it's very essential to. I mean, look at what it produced. The moments in professional wrestling, half of the moments people, oh my God, these great moments, they're in the arena.
Yeah.
Like when you can smell these clips, you feel these clips, like the footage you see, and I just want to be able to, with this art form, bring that back.
Yeah, no, I feel it. I just got chills a little bit. Like just Pennsylvania in general, I feel is the mecca of pro wrestling. I know a lot of places take like, well, we were the best at the wrestling in here, but like Philly and just Pennsylvania in general is a wrestling hub. Like no disrespect to every other place, everyone else has their history roots, and please embrace those and love those. But this is why it's important for Pennsylvanians. Like that's why we eat it. Like this Northeast scene is just unbelievable, and a lot of people get a lot of their stomping grounds to Philadelphia.
Yeah, and I just love how it's like so notorious for it's so notorious for being like gritty, grimy, like just like,
Rocky. It's Rocky. It's you come from the slums and you have to fight your way to whatever. If you want something in life, you better be willing to put your hands up and fight for it.
It's real. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
love it. I love it. If you don't watch Rocky and you're not from this area or Pennsylvania in general, it's hard to get that vibe. It's like even though I'm not from Philly, but that Rocky heart is essentially Pennsylvania in a whole. Like that's just how like small coal region towns. You want something, pick up your gloves and fight for it. You know what I mean? Like, and if you get knocked down, you get your ass back up and keep fighting. Like that just it's not how not how hard life hits, is how hard if it hits and you get up and keep moving forward. It's all that's just like the embodiment of what we like this area and what Philly especially stands for.
Oh yeah, big time, man. And speaking of Rocky, actually filming Rocky 6, he's really running through like Ninth and Washington, the Italian market, and I actually got to shake his hand. Such a moment,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah, I got to shake Sylvester Stallone's hand. I almost called him Rocky just now. Jesus, I got I got to shake his hand.
He is Rocky.
Yeah,
There's people
um,
for a while who thought Rocky was a real person. Like they thought he was. Well, I mean, he was a real person. Unfortunately, Stallone stole someone's actual story and didn't give him any credit. But that's another story for another day.
um
But what were the beginning stages of finding yourself in professional wrestling? So first off, I said this before in the podcast. Anyone who is willing to just randomly go into a gym where you're walking into, at the end of the day, wrestling is simulated violence. Like if you want to put yourself in an industry where you're going to get hit, like football or basketball or anything where you're going to go in there and you're going to get hit with a body, or you're looking for your physical endurance. And you're just going, but you didn't go with a group of people. You didn't go with someone who made you feel comfortable, a support system. You walked in by yourself into a building, those doors open, and you are alone. Like that's impressive. There's not a lot of people who will do that. Well, like so, just going through those processes and then getting through the training and doing that, like what was those beginning stages like?
so specifically at Catch Point, it was like a 6-week boot camp where you were taught the fundamentals of the art form, and going through that was, you got 8 people at the time who signed up for the very first class at Catch Point. Going in there, none of us knew each other, right? It felt very competitive, but it was healthy. It wasn't like, you know, it wasn't very, it was very, you were definitely in the deep end of the pool, and you had to learn how to swim in that. But going through Catch Point, the process it was real. You lived it. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm going here and I got to turn it on just while I'm here. No, it was they fully immerse you in this. Like if you're in this, they're dunking your head and you're getting baptized into it. You
Yeah.
know,
How hard is a boot camp from those three trainers?
I'll tell you this. So I was 252 pounds when I went in there. By the end of that 6 weeks, I was literally 228 pounds.
Yikes. So out of the 8, how many survived the boot camp?
Uh, I want to say 6.
That's
Yeah,
that's that's good.
yeah, yeah. It was very, it was very amazing, man. Like it was really a brotherhood. You go through something like that, and you really learn people, and you work with people, and you're in pain with people, you're crying with people, growing with people. It's really a beautiful thing, man.
Now you're saying before I'm deep diving because every time I hear stories from this school, every time I hear something, it just impresses me more. How does this school and this environment go from that? All right, everyone's here. Like, is it kind of like that moment where everyone's in the room and they're not talking to each other because they don't know how to handle it? And then like, how do they break that ice and create that brotherhood, but also keep that competition and realize like, hey, we're gonna fuck you up for 6 weeks. Like, how do they balance that?
So I think the balance is it's kind of like a respect is earned system. Like there's going to be set curriculum that's going to make you step out of your comfort zone every single day in those 6 weeks. If you're if you're like the type to think it's gonna, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go here and do, like, no, you're not just gonna go there and do that. Like you're getting tested through every single motion, whether it's cutting a promo, uh, you know, whether it's calling spots in the ring, like, because we were calling matches in those 6 weeks, like, uh, we, learning different techniques, going through physical, vigorous workout circuits every single day in those 6 weeks. It's really a, respect is earned type of system in there. And, I don't think I'd be where I'm at if I went anywhere else.
Yeah, that's battle tested. That's 100% battle tested. Now, you said you brotherhoods were formed there. In your starting class, is there anyone like out of the six? Are those six still there? And obviously, you found your tag team partner in your first couple of weeks there, right?
Yeah, I found my brother, man, Tom LaRosa. Shouts out to my dog, man. We actually, it's a funny story. Me and him used to work at a South Philly Target in 2012. We didn't know each other. We just worked together, right? Spoke very briefly. Fast forward 2023, I'm 3 weeks into this, and it's like, yo, dude, you looked familiar. I just couldn't pinpoint it. And I asked him, I said, yo, you used to work at Target? He's like, yeah, man, I knew you looked familiar. And then we just kind of headed off from there. But, it's just us from that first class still there, Me and Tom have been going strong, training and just trying to perfect the way we want to express ourselves within the art form and within this.
So you and Tom are essentially Gen 1 first class catch point.
Yes, we are the first, like, I say this with pride. I'm very proud.
Oh, absolutely.
We're the first.
That school's going to leave a legacy, and to be the first one to be a part of that legacy is pretty important.
Yeah, it really is, man. I remember graduating and I just broke down in tears, like seeing, pro wrestler Martin Hughes. I was just like, I can't believe this. Like, this is
from the guy you paid money to go see and respected.
From Drew Gulak.
Yeah. The guy who's the tutorial who teaches you how to wrestle in a video game is also your coach.
I was like, man, it was just such a surreal moment to go through that.
So technically, I'm also kind of trained by Drew Gulak. He taught me how to grapple with the buttons. You know what I mean? I didn't get a certificate, but I got past. I got an achievement. I think they gave me an achievement on Xbox.
But I just want to say, man, shouts out to Tom, man. Tom, because he's a tremendous talent, man. That dude's tremendous, and he really we kind of were pushing each other. You know what I mean? It was like a Ghost Cheetah type.
I love the way he conducts himself, like just the way he carries himself, the way he speaks, the way he just feels about himself. I genuinely like, and I remember talking to him about it on the podcast, and he was like, "Man, not a lot of people like me. They think I'm weird. They think I'm an asshole." And I was like, I think you come off super genuine. I can definitely see how people think you're weird and off-putting, but like, I dig it. I think you're like, I always say on commentary, I was like, he's the coolest dude in wrestling. Like, he's just look at him. He's just cool.
Yeah. That's my dog, man. And that's why we kind of relate on so many levels. Like, because, like, nobody likes us. You know what I mean? Nobody, they won't say it, but we feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like it. I think you're both dope. So what were some setbacks or adversities you've had to overcome so far in life or in your career?
Man, some setbacks. So far, I mean, honestly, it's just been kind of I've had a few little injuries here and there, specifically like in my left knee. But other than that, everything's been pretty manageable. I think the only thing that right now, kind of like just figuring out exactly what I want to do. That's about it. But I wouldn't really call that a setback. I would call that like more just kind of developing within this, right? But yeah, as far as setbacks, it was just minor injuries that I recovered from.
Yeah. What do you? So when it comes to you now, I know we talked a little off camera.
Mhm.
about how you said you wish your bookings were more, but you're still at a point where you don't take a lot of bookings because you feel you still have to fine tune some things. What are some things that you feel you have to work on before you really immerse yourself and push yourself out there?
Um, I feel like what I would really like to get down is like more character specific, movements I do. You know how like best friends they hug in the middle of the ring. You know how Okada has the
Yeah.
just like little signature character notes. Um, nothing would like move set. Like I could go out right now, have a 10-minute match on the fly. Um, but it'd be like really just, and it really it's just me nitpicking.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm the same way, man. I've been podcasting now for 7 years, but probably 4 years before that, I'm like, well, I have to make sure I learn how to do every aspect of this first, and I have to learn how to do every aspect of this before I even start. And it's just like, it held me back longer than it probably needed to, but also like once I started and I started getting those reps, me learning on my own and then me hitting the record button are two different things. And I feel like the biggest thing for you is like how Tom is just willing to get into a car with strangers and drive anywhere in the world or any place and do it. I want to see you more in that car because I know you're fine tuning and you're taking it very serious, but I think those reps are gonna come when you're out there.
oh yeah, definitely. And like I agree with you. Yeah, 47 matches in. Um, you know, I just I haven't really gotten booked to do too many singles things, and it's not like I don't turn down bookings. Like if someone comes at me and they're like, hey, I want you to do this, and I'll be like, okay, here's my rate, this, that, and the third, let's do it. Um, but I I don't really have a problem jumping in cars. It's more like I just haven't been specifically booked to do any like fatal four ways or any singles matches or
That's
any
fair.
too much. Um, but
Is your goal to be the tag team with Tom, or if need be, would you be a singles guy as well?
well, I could do both. I
Do
could,
you have a preference?
I pref- I don't, I wouldn't say I have a preference, because I feel like I can effectively be efficient at both. And but I mean, I enjoy doing tag team stuff, but I also enjoy doing single stuff. It's just I've done more tag team stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, the only reason I ask is there's some people who are like, listen, I like, for example, like a Donnie Bambino. Donnie Bambino, I think could be a great singles wrestler, but he truly just loves doing tag team wrestling. Like that's where his heart and soul is at. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Like to be a tag team specialist is something that a lot of people don't seek after to do because everybody wants to be the solo guy holding the singles belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But tag team wrestling and trios wrestling is just as important. And I don't think there's a right or wrong answer there. I'm just trying to just learning a little bit about you of like where you stand with that. Like, so you're either way. You can do either one.
yeah, confidently, efficiently. Just I just haven't had. I mean, I've had one singles match. Shouts out to Jeff Cannonball. It was at Dropkick Depression. I was facing Mike Seaway. He had me cut a promo and then kind of just have a match with him, and I feel like it went over pretty well. But then again, like I just haven't been given the opportunity to be like, hey, let's do this singles, or hey, let's do this individual.
Yeah. So you have a very interesting look. You got the long curly hair, and then when it's dry, it can be huge. You got the Troy Polamalu at times. Very good mean face, good size to you. But who is Martin Hughes? How did you come up with the name, the gimmick, the character? What are you trying to embody when you're out there?
So this is actually my shoot name. I kind of just took
What
after.
made you keep the shoot name and not make up one?
Oh man, uh, I guess it just kind of fell. It just kind of fell into my lap. I mean, I remember I was gonna go by Bubba Hughes, but
Okay.
I feel like Bubba Hughes was it didn't embody kind of like the grittiness. It sounded like really baby face. Um, what I try to bring into the ring is just you know raw emotions of hard hitting, hard hitting, passionate, um, just mean. I'm not slapping my thigh. No disrespect to people who are slapping their thigh. It's a beautiful thing, but I'm just expressing it a little different. You know, I like to hit meet the meat, like kind of like King's Road, like Kentakabashi type of ordeals. I just really I like that, like that you know, back to the Philadelphia
You
feeling.
want to hit and be hit.
Yes, yes, yeah.
You are essentially like handsome Max Zero. Like that guy, he looks for the contact. There's running backs who will duck out of bounds, and there's running backs who will lean their shoulder in. You're leaning your shoulder in.
I'm leaning my shoulder in, and I'm first 2 tackles.
Yeah. I love that. Love that so much. Yeah, so yeah, Max is just him and Travis are unbelievable. Like when I think of like two guys who are absolute killers but also sweethearts, it's those two. I actually heard a really interesting Travis story at Catch Point. It was one of the interviews. They're all blending together. I've done so many in the past couple days. For full disclosure, it's January 14th, and I think this is my 12th podcast in 14 days.
You're working, man. You are working.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But Catchpoint does things I heard too. I don't want to give too much away, but I heard there's scenarios where you guys go to school and they'll be like, all right, you're wrestling today, but you have to wrestle as this person or this object or this thing. And you have to embody that and play the character work with it. Like, I think that's fucking genius.
Oh, yeah.
Because like the idea of it, right, is like Chikara, for example. I know a lot of your coaches come from that zone where it's just like, all right, today I have an interview coming up with someone who is notorious for this because he was the creator wrestler. He's the guy that, hey, the fans are going to give you a gimmick and you have to make it work. And this guy did every single time. But like, and they're wild, they're insane. Like he wrestled as a breakfast food. You know what I mean? Like, how do you make that a character and get it over? And I love how Catchpoint embodies that a little bit because it makes like, sure, you can go out and be the tough guy and be the mean guy. That's an easy role to play, especially when you're big and you're strong. But like, I want you to be a ballerina when you wrestle. Like, can you do that? And I think that's an aspect of wrestling school I don't think I ever hear anyone talk about. Like, hey, I want you to completely be everything you're working at just to show that you can do it. Because that's a rep. That's a rep that not a lot of people are talking about doing. Like, sure, go lift weights. We're going to teach you how to chain wrestle. You're going to learn all the wrestling stuff, but the character work is so forgotten about. Then hearing that they do that at Catchpoint is awesome.
Oh, yeah. There's so many different methods of how they're going to get you out your comfort zone, but also make you grow within discomfort.
Yeah.
It's very
be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yes. Yeah. That's definitely preached a lot. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I love that so much. So this question I have in my list, but it's a little different when it comes to everybody, right? And I think I have to reword this, and this is why I'm kind of like feeling it out more. But life isn't always about just hitting your peak and that's it, right? There's peaks and valleys. There's times where, like, for example, a peak would probably be graduating from school. You did it. Like, that's a peak. And then obviously I'm not saying it went downhill from there, but that's what a peak is. You hit it and then you have to go down a little bit and come back up. What are some key moments or some peaks that you've done or accomplishments you've had at this point?
Oof. So I don't think I've hit like anywhere near my peak in the sense of like, you know, what I want for myself and where I see myself. But I will say there were some key moments that I'm very proud to be a part of and, you know, thankful to be a part of. You know, obviously graduating. I would say the suplex show, being in front of like all people, because actually South Street, I used to skate down that street, you know, as a kid growing up all through my life. And then to go from skateboarding down that street to now I'm wrestling down on that street.
When did you realize how many people, like, I didn't know, like, so I was back and forth. I was upstairs, I was talking, I was doing things with the store and trying to get my notes and things prepared. I couldn't even find half the wrestlers. I didn't even know you guys were next door in a different building. Like, because I couldn't get notes from anybody because it was jam packed.
Yeah.
It felt busy everywhere else, but maybe not so much. Like, the store was even busy because West Side Gun's there and everyone's there for that too. So it was just bodies everywhere. And I didn't really get a grip of it until I think intermission, when I stood up on the ring just to kind of get like a gauge. And when I got up on the steps and on the ring apron and I looked down the street in both directions and I couldn't stop seeing heads. Like, it looked like the entire, like, thousands of people. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. It was unbelievable. I was like, I can't see the other, like I couldn't see street. It was just heads.
Yeah, it was, I didn't realize it was that many people until the Rumble, and I walked out there. And I just remember getting in the ring, and I looked around, and I was like, oh my, like this is, it reminded me of the Eagles winning the Super Bowl again. Like all these people on the street, and like it's just noise. That was definitely the most people I've ever performed in front of. And yeah, it was it was live that day, man.
I tried to play into Griffin's because I like to do the heel. I like to fuck around a little bit, right? And I fucked around and found out a little bit in Philly, because when Griffin was up there saying, I hate Philly, this town sucks, I was like, you're right, F Philly. People were grabbing me from the barricade and pulling me. I was like, oh. Like it was out of love, but it was part of it. Like I was just like, oh, this is serious. Like what was crazy too is like doing the match, right? And I'm very observant. I like to watch the crowd because I like to feel everyone's emotions. So sometimes I miss stuff in the ring. I know this is probably something I should admit, but I'm also like watching people's reactions for like, I may not call it right away because I'm watching it. I see someone in the front row react, and then I try to embody their emotion in my commentary, if that makes sense. And I just remember like stopping and looking around a lot during that show, and just turning around during the battle royal and seeing Yuta behind me. Like, and I'm just like, what the fuck is like, I was like, and just, but like it marking out for a moment that Wheeler Yuta is behind me and I'm doing the commentary. It immediately was like, he doesn't, the commentary means nothing at this point. He's proud of his students because there was a lot of you in there and you're working in front of thousands of people. And he probably realizes this is a moment that not a lot of people get. Like you guys are not even a year into your career. You're still students. You're the first generation of his people in there. And you're working in front of probably 2,000 people.
Yeah, it was,
and you could just see the pride in his face. He was super excited for you guys.
Yeah, even to hear that, man, that I'm hold back tears. But even hearing that, like, I think that was going into that was like my 14th match. Yeah, and I remember that day he introduced me to some friends and all that. So you saying he was proud, I definitely felt that, and being in that moment was so surreal, so surreal.
Yeah, because that's also a moment too where like he steps out and people know he's there, and he's literally standing in the rampway. So people are kind of like, is he getting in? Like you know what I mean? Like there was people who were kind of confused, and he was trying to keep a low profile. Because I remember my partner, she loves Wheeler. Like she was a best friends person. She loves Orange and Wheeler, and I'm like, it's hilarious you like that group, and they're all legit like friends. You know what I mean? Like, and oh my god, when Wheeler left that team, she was heartbroken. But actually, the weekend that Wheeler got out was Mania weekend. That's when Wheeler left the best friends, right? Around that time. Yeah. Trent left that.
Trent, yeah.
Trent, because he was already BCC at that point. Trent left. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. And I remember Lily she got to meet Orange and Chuck at Labor of Love the second night. And she was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And so she goes, if there's two other people that walk in here, I will probably have a heart attack. And it was Kingston. I go, if Kingston shows up, I'm going to have a heart attack. I love Uncle Eddie. But the other one was Wheeler. And I remember watching him walk across the parking lot, and she's standing there fully cosplayed as Orange Cassidy. She's so stoked. And I was like, wait till you see who walks in the door. And he walked in and she just goes, but when he came out for the Rumble, she didn't know if he was getting in or what was happening. But she was just like, Wheeler was behind you. I was like, I was well aware. He was watching his students. He was a proud papa at that point.
Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah, I'm super proud of him. I love watching. So I got to see his excellence before he was even signed. So I was aware of him, but I didn't realize how talented he was until I was asked to come, and we was Camp Leapfrog first, and then we did a double shot. So it was all H2O, and it was Camp Leapfrog, and then after Camp Leapfrog was IWTV 100. And I was very, very proud to be part of the IWTV 100 team. And my co-host Brian was doing music in the back, and I was kind of hanging out with him because I wasn't doing commentary, but some of our equipment was being used to help conjunction. Like this podcast stuff that you're looking at, this computer that's on right now was the computer that was playing music at IWTV 100. Like that's sick to me, right? Like, and he main evented with Daniel Garcia, and they wrestled an hour in a hot H2O building in the middle of the summer for the Independent Wrestling Championship. And it was one of the craziest matches I've ever seen in my life. And I just remember looking at it and I go, like, these two guys are going to take over the world of wrestling one day. Like, him and Daniel Garcia are so goddamn good. And then we got that match like 3 months later on TV, and I'm like, I already watched it, and I'll watch it again.
Yeah, those guys are tremendous, man. Oh,
yeah.
Those guys are, those guys are real.
That's why I always tell people, man, go support the independent scene, because like you yourself are going to be someone in a couple years. I'm going to be like, I interviewed him, and now he doesn't remember who I am, but it was. Yeah. but like it's cool to see these people grow and become these things. Like, same thing, like being in this area and watching the independent scene. I went to London to All In, and knowing that most of these guys were wrestling in bingo halls in Philly and wrestling in front of 12 people, and now they're selling at Wembley Stadium. Like, I got emotional. I was like trying not to cry most of the show. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you don't understand. Like, this isn't like a WWE thing where I don't know these people and I just seen them and they went through their whole, like, I watched some of these guys' entire journeys, and here they are selling out the most seats in a wrestling stadium. And I'm in I've never been to a wrestling pay-per-view ever in my life. My first pay-per-view ever was fucking London in Wembley Stadium. Like, yeah.
That's a way to pop it, man. I'll tell you that.
I love pro wrestling. This whole thing is just marking out for pro wrestling at this point. But yeah, it's so good. It's the best. Who are some of your influences and role models, whether it's personal or in the business?
Wow. Yeah. Well, my godfather is definitely a role model to me.
Got to talk to him a little bit. Oh, he's awesome.
He's, I wouldn't be doing this without him. A lot of people, growing up, I looked up to like Nick Gage, Trent Acid, RIP. I looked up to Drew as well.
Nick was just at your school recently, right?
Yes, yeah.
How'd that work out for you?
It was like if you met Eddie Kingston. Like, it was such a, like, I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. I'm like, I met Nick Gage, bro. Like, I took a picture with him and everything. I'm like,
was it everything you wanted to be?
Everything. Who the man? Everything.
Can I tell you my Nick Gage story? I only met him once.
Oh, hell
H2. Yeah. So GCW is doing the settlement series, and they kept saying to everybody, whoever shows up, can't promise anything, but just come, and if I have a spot, I'll get you in. So as someone who's not a wrestler, I want to be a commentator, and I think GCW and my style of commentary would be an amazing fit. I can kind of work a little crazy. I can do my thing, because I not trying to toot my own horn, but I was doing the Pat McAfee thing before Pat McAfee.
Oh, okay.
Like, where I'm bringing my authentic Pennsylvania self to commentary, and I have fun with it. And I say things that you're probably not supposed to say on commentary, but this guy's he's talking about sports betting, and the refs are probably helping the bookies on ESPN. Like, I love Pat McAfee. He doesn't give a fuck, but like, he's relatable. And that's why I wanted to bring to wrestling and commentary. And I felt GCW would be the best place, because I look at guys like Emil, and he doesn't wear a suit and tie. I don't wear a suit and tie. I show up, I'm me. When you book me, you're getting me. That's just how I look at it. And so I showed up for 3 shows. And the third show, every time I said I'm here for commentary, and everyone who showed up, I knew them all. I'm like, man, I would hit a fucking home run, because nobody knows these people, and I would be putting over these talent that people don't know because of my research in the podcast. I didn't get the opportunity. It is what it is. I'm not bitter. I'm not angry, but at least I put myself out there. Brett seen me. He's seen my passion for 3 different shows, driving 3 hours to get there. My car breaks down. I can't make it to the 4th show. Pissed me off. But Nick's there, and I'm wearing a Chainsaw Charlie shirt, but he's dressed as Leatherface. So it's like a Mick Foley Leatherface shirt. And I walk up to Nick. I'm like, hey, great to meet you. You're a legend. Thank you so much. And he just looks at me, and I'm going to do a horrible impression, but it makes the story better. But he's like, yo, where the fuck did you get that Chainsaw Charlie shit? And I was like, I not Chainsaw Charlie, but I know what you're going for. I said pro wrestling tees. He goes, what the fuck's pro wrestling tees? And I go, they sell your merch. They're a pro wrestling company. They do cool. He goes, is that the fucking company that did the fucking MDK all day with me holding the pizza cutter? And I was like, yes, yeah, the Micro Brawler. They just came out with that. He goes, I'm gonna hit them up and tell them I need that fucking shirt. That shit's fire, bro. He's like, you want to go outside and smoke up? And I'm like, yes, I do. But he was just so fucking sweet. Like, I mean, we walked out and me, him, Jordan are all standing outside and we're just and I'm like, I'm fucking hanging out with Nick Gage right now. But just like, he like, thank you for the love. And he just immediately was like, I like your fucking shirt. Like, I was just like, you want it? I'll walk around with no shirt the rest of the night. I'll give you my shirt. Yeah, such a fucking sweetheart. He's awesome. He's amazing.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people in the business like him. He's awesome.
Genuine, just a genuine person.
So genuine.
Why I like Eddie Kingston. He's just so fucking relatable. Like, he's not putting a character on. He's Eddie, and that's Nick. Nick is just Nick. So good. Any other role models before we kind of cut you off?
No, you fine. I would say like any other role model. Other than like my coaches, I look up to all my coaches. Kurt Robinson, Nate Wallace, Tracy Williams, Vietnam, Drew, of course, Wheeler Yuta. I just, everyone around me is kind of like a role model in this because I try to, it's an uplifting thing, yeah, that's about it. Like, just they definitely all my coaches. They set the examples, and I try and just take bits and parts from everyone and
you can tell you're definitely, like I said, even with the Philly attitude, like you're a product of your environment. Like, you can tell who you role model yourself off, who you base yourself off. Like, I just think the way you conduct yourself is very, like, same with Tom, very genuine, very original, very authentic. And I think the more you put yourself in this business and you win more people over and you be just genuinely you, I think you're going to be two of the guys who are going to be talked about in the same light as an Eddie, as a Nick, as just what you see is what you get, whether you like it or you don't like it. But you're not someone who's going to sugarcoat, but also genuinely sweet people if you earn that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you first and foremost. Yeah. I just, just to be in this space and be able to do this, it's such a surreal thing. It's a dream come true, and I'm kind of living it every day. So I'm just grateful to even be a part of it, grateful to be in it. And
just got to get you in more places. We got to get you in more places so you get those reps. 100%. Some hobbies or interests you have outside of wrestling. So when you're not in the gym, you're not living at Catch Point, you're not paying rent to two different places. What are you doing to unwind, calm down, relax, and not tape study? Because that's another thing too. Wrestlers, even when they're not wrestling, they're probably watching wrestling. So what are you doing in between those moments?
Shoot, man. It's kind of hard to get out the pool. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hard to just get out the pool. But when I do, I like my sports. I like all the Philadelphia teams, of course.
Sixers are staying. Are you excited?
You know what? I'm so canceled that Chinatown deal because that was just utterly disrespectful to the community there. And the officials and politicians involved in that should be ashamed of themselves. But I don't, there's not really too many hobbies I do out of this. Like, I play basketball, but it's really just for cardio.
You're not a gamer. You're not a movie guy. You're not pop culture inspired in any aspects like that.
You're a gangster. Yeah.
What was that?
My godfather said I'm a gangster.
I love that. You're burying bodies.
Yeah, nah, I'm very into art, I'm very into just, a lot of movies as well, here and there, if it's like, especially if it's like a Christopher Nolan movie. I just appreciate things that make me feel, right? So
yeah,
anything that's like just real feeling, just art. I love that stuff. Nothing specific. I'm always doing. I have a finger dipped in a lot of things.
Yeah. So if you were to give, and I know a lot of people would probably say, well, I'm only so long in, I'm only so many matches in, who am I to give advice? But I totally disagree with that take. But if someone were to be chasing their dream, whether it be wrestling or anything in general, what were some words of encouragement you would give to a beginner or someone who wants to step out of that comfort zone and do it?
Someone who wants to pursue this, it's, anything worth something in life is hard. Anything worth something is hard, and you are either going to lose yourself finding yourself in this, or come close to that. But I would say, be ready to give it everything, every single thing, your soul, your peace, your mind, your body, your comfort. You got to be willing to sacrifice what you see in the mirror. And it's a very intimate relationship you're going to have with the ring. And, what you put in, that's going to matter. I would just say, for people who want to get into this, be willing to die for this. Be willing to lose sleep for this. Be willing to get off of work, go train. You leave training 12 a.m. You still hit the gym. You got to be up at 6 a.m. to work. Be willing to just sacrifice yourself, because that's what's going to take for you to even feel content with it. It's very it's a long road. I'm saying I'm barely in the shop to grab coffee. You know what I mean? So just be willing to like literally die for this shit.
Yeah. And I will say once again, just from meeting you and knowing you, like it's one thing to say those words, but you truly embody that. Like I truly believe when you say that, and knowing you as a person and what you come from, like you're about that life, and I love that about you. Last one here before we get into plugs and where people can find you. What are you grateful for, and are you currently happy?
What am I grateful for? Well, first and foremost, I'm grateful for God, Jesus Christ. I'm grateful for Drew Gulak. I'm grateful for Tracy Williams.
I love how you went Jesus and Drew. That's awesome. That's a whole nother holy trinity. First off, Jesus and Drew Gulak, Tracy Hot Sauce Williams. I'm clipping that. That's the podcast clip right there. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I'm grateful for Willie Yuta. I'm grateful for Vita Von Star. I'm grateful for Kurt Robinson tremendously. I'm grateful for Nate Wallace. I'm grateful for David McCall. I'm grateful for just Catch Point. I'm grateful for my boy Tom Rulo. You know what I'm saying? Just so grateful for wrestling rings. I'm grateful for the fans. I'm grateful for, if you're watching this, I'm grateful for you, because without you, there is none of this, right? And ABJ, I'm grateful for you, thank you.
Likewise, man. I understand you work hard at your craft. You were literally talking to me as you were walking home from work. You could have been at the gym. You could be eating right now. You could be spending time with that amazing family member of yours next to you. But you took an hour out of your day to come talk to me, and I appreciate that as well.
Hey, man, you took time out of your day to, come and interview me, and just, I appreciate you, man, because it's not a lot of people who want to provide a platform to just genuinely, have people kind of show who they are, and just go deeper within, the art form. I'm just grateful for pro wrestling in general. Pro wrestling, everyone has their opinion on what their flavor of ice cream is, but at the end of the day, it's all sweet. It's all still ice cream. It's all still digestible. It's all still here for us. And pro wrestling is just, it's really just life, right? Like people say ball is life. No, wrestling is life.
Yeah, I mean, look, wrestling has overtaken every form of pop culture. Like, it hasn't gotten its respect it deserves, but I think it's about to. Like, you watch any sporting event, and someone scores a basketball, or gets a sack or they're 9 times out of 10 they're doing something pro wrestling related. You know what I mean? Like there's moments of pro wrestling, like you can walk in a room and say Ric Flair and the whole place is going to say woo. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can walk in and see Hulk Hogan and everyone's going to respectfully boo. Thank God for that now. But it's pro wrestling is culture. Like it has been culture for a long time, but it hasn't gotten its due. And I think in 2025 is going to be the year where pro wrestling becomes cool again. I think and WWE under that TKO deal is going to help bring that to the forefront. But it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be a pro wrestling fan. Like you had to wait only Saturdays, if you're lucky, to watch it on TV. And then we went from Mondays and then Mondays to Thursdays. And now literally you can turn on every day of the week or go to a YouTube page and literally immerse yourself in professional wrestling. And it's all at your fingertips. And that's beautiful.
Oh yeah. It's such a, just to see it kind of, it's kind of like what you were saying, peaks and valleys, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like right now we're approaching a whole new peak. And to be within this business, it's I said this word so much, but it really is like it's like a dream, man, come true. And everything is so worth it,
Yeah.
everything.
I've for 7 years I've been told, man, I love you as a person, but I don't watch your content because I'm not into pro wrestling. And now with all these big things and like people like Pat McAfee going over there and The Rock showing back up and just it's sparking people's interest again. And people are like, I think I might start checking out your content because I think I'm into pro wrestling again. I go, welcome back. Yeah. Where can people find and support you?
So I am on Instagram at the Hughes that can't lose. I am on Twitter as well, although I don't use Twitter too much. I am also I am on YouTube at Hughes that can't lose as well. I do plan on like kind of filming vlogish type of style videos soon. But yeah, and Catchpoint as well on 2024 Westmoreland Ave. People can find me, training.
No merchandise yet, though, right?
Oh yeah, not yet. But
so if you were to have a piece of merch, I like to speak things into existence, and maybe for another reason, I'm asking this question. Would you rather a Martin Hughes shirt or would you rather a Citywide Street Gang shirt?
Honestly, I would go the route of providing both.
Yeah.
I
said that right? Citywide Street Gang.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would kind of provide both. It's funny. We do have like a design. We just haven't like kind of capitalized. Well, not capitalized, but we haven't kind of executed like a color scheme yet or anything like that. Just kind of like trying to finalize some things before.
Okay. Keep an eye on your inbox the next couple of days.
Definitely.
I might be cooking something up this entire time we're talking. I'm like envisioning. That's another thing too. I'm not very good at graphic design or anything. I'm teaching myself. Lily's pretty talented, and what we both do is we kind of listen back. She won't hear this until later, but we both listen to podcasts, and we also know that a lot of people I interview are new to the game or coming up or maybe that, and then we're like, oh, because of their story, like, oh, we'll incorporate this into their logo or that because it embodies them. So yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye on that. Maybe you'll have an ABJ inspired Citywide Street Gang t-shirt coming your way.
Hey man, I would love that for real.
Yeah. Please follow him on social media. Thank you guys so much. If you made it this far, screenshot this, take a photo, put it on your story, put it on your wall, say, hey, I just watched this interview. Thank you. You guys, maybe there's a question I missed or something you guys want. The platform is always open. Martin and all my guests are always welcome to come back for more. Thank you guys so much. It's been a crazy couple months on this podcast. I'm saying this in the future, knowing that I only recorded 14 episodes in 12 days, but more to come, man. There's a lot of really cool interviews coming up. I cannot wait for more. If you want to be on the podcast yourself, you do not have to be a professional wrestler. You could be anyone chasing their dreams, doing their art. I'm down to have a conversation. Or if you just want to come on and tell your story, if you've been through some stuff and you want to tell your story or get something off your chest, hit up ABJ. I would love to have you on. Let's keep grinding. Let's keep growing. That's going to do it for us at the ABJ Podcast. ABJ, Martin Hughes, we're out of here. Here's some music by the Converse Kid. We'll see you guys next time.
Citywide Street Gang.